it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK. I'm coming on to show you this stamp set. It's called Many Messages. It's in the new mini catalogue and I love it because it comes as a bundle with the messages dies, and this die cuts out all of these in one go. And I have already got in black with white heat embossing. I've done them in white just with memento, and I'm going to show you how I do them with gold heat embossing in a little bit, but I'm just going to show you my entry for this week's Global Design Project challenge, which is a sketch. I'll come back to this. I've decided I'm going to do a little slimline card. So I've got a base of gorgeous grape, and that measures 20 centimetres by 19 centimetres, and it's scored at 9.5. I've then got two pieces of white that measures 9.2 by 19.7, so it just leaves a little border so you can see the base, one for the inside, one for the outside. And for my stripes I have got cardstock that's cut from the Brights collection, and I'm going to stick those, I could stick them on this layer, but I'm going to stick them on just another strip of card so that I don't mess up this bit. And then I was looking around in my stash for the circle, and I had in my bits and pieces that I've made for other projects some of these wreaths which are from the Wreath Builder dies, so I thought I would use that, and that's going to be my sentiment. So let me, very simple card, that's kind of my style at the moment, and I'm using the Stampin' seal. And I'm just going to cover this completely. So that the cardstock all stays stuck. I should have used my silicone mat, which I'm not sure. I did some mirror stamping yesterday for the first time using my silicone mat, and I really enjoyed doing it. So let's just, I'm going to pop that down there and think about the order that I want to do this. I was going to thinking about maybe doing a rainbow, but too many colours for me, so I'm going to put these up together. Melon Bamboo, let's get that one. And then last one, Daffodil Delight. And you can actually get, I quite like the collections, you can get a pack of the collections, and there'll be a link. You can buy all the products that I'm using in my online store, so I will put a link so you can check those out. So that's fabulous, and I'm going to add this panel to my base and then flip it over. One more there and cut the excess off. Now let's see if I can get this on straight without getting my head in camera. There we are. Fabulous. Now I'm going to use, find it, no, yes, you could use snips, paper snips, but I'm just going to use my trimmer. Pop it down that way. Fabulous. I think I'm going to have it that way. I've made some of my homemade shimmer spray, and I'll put a link up here so that you can see how I make this. It's very simple. I'm going to spray this so that it gets nice and shiny. Oh. It just gives it such a lovely shimmer. So while that dries, I'm going to show you how I use this many messages. Now I'm going to use my Stamparatus. You don't have to. I've got the stamp mounted on one of the plates, and I've got some white card here. I'm just going to get rid of any static or dust that might have accumulated on here while it's just resting off to the side. That's a dust buddy, but you don't. Before I got my dust buddy, I used talcum powder in a popped sock or a foot of a tight, and that worked perfectly well. Now, the reason I'm using my stamping tool, my Stamparatus, is because if I don't think I've got the enough ink on, or a good enough impression first time, then I can add more ink and go back. That's why I love this Stamparatus. I think it's a great tool and really worth adding to your tools if you're a stamper, because if you're not very confident at stamping, it really does help you, because you can put a bit of ink on, you can stamp your image, just applying as much pressure across all of that as I think I need to. And you can't see where the ink is, but I can. I'm going to move my magnet and get that out of the way. And add the embossing powder. Now, this was one of the first things that I fell in love with when I became a stamper, embossing, because I just thought it was so clever, and I think I still do. There's a little bit of magic watching the powder as it melts onto the when you heat it. So keep thinking I need a bit of a bigger pot for my embossing powder. And the embossing powder goes a really long way, which is brilliant. So you can just pop the excess back, making a bit of a meal of this. Check that out. Now I always give it a flick. There's one stray bit there that I'm going to use my pick tool to get that out of the way. Perfect. And then I'm going to grab my heat gun. So that is done. And now I'm going to add this over the top, and you kind of line it up around the heart and the stars. And I'm going to take this off run it through my die cutting machine and I'll be back. Right, and here we go, and they literally just fall out. Ooh, and fly away, including the little hearts, and they can be stored for another day. I mean, I just think it's brilliant. Obviously, if you were just wanting one sentiment, you wouldn't have to do them all at the same time. But there we go. I'm going to put that in my little pot, and then I've got all those sentiments ready to go on projects. So that has now dried, and can you, I don't know if you can see, it is so shiny. Very happy with that. So I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to put lots of glue on because it got a little bit warped. You know me, I'm quite frugal generally with my glue because this is good stuff. And I think I'm going to go from light to dark with my rainbow. It's even sparkly on the back there, look. That is so pretty. Now, I think this card would cheer anybody up. Anybody that's going through a bit of a tough time at the moment. And I think there's quite a lot of us that are finding the current situation a little bit tough. So I'm going to leave the inside, but I'm going to add my wreath, and I'm just putting a little dot of glue on each of the leaves. And I quite like the fact that that is plain compared to the sparkle of the rest of the card. Then I'm going to pop that sentiment up with some mini dimensionals. And I love this sentiment. Be strong, be brave, you've got this. I'm just going to pop that on a little jaunty angle. And I think I'm going to leave it there. Just nice, bright, very shiny. Full details will be on my blog. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love you to do so. I'm trying to build up my audience, but I'm a bit shy about it. So I really appreciate anybody's support. Do leave me a message down below, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.